Hey everybody, Preferred Selection here with some more Rogue Legacy. Back we've got $195. I don't believe that's enough to buy anything that we want. Yeah, everything's expensive. You can see little plus signs next to these icons over here if there is something that you can afford that you don't have. Turn down the music a little bit from the last recording. I feel like it was a little loud. Didn't want to have to compete with it. Looks like we are a barbarian. It's been a couple days since, well, yeah, a couple days since I played Rogue Legacy. So I'm hoping that things go all right. Yeah, a little rusty. That's okay. As long as we have a vampirism rune, I don't feel too bad about. Don't feel too bad about being rusty. This room's hard though. Wow, lots of stuff in here. The guys that shoot flame move pretty slowly, so that's why I'm just kind of getting away from them and dealing with enemies that are more annoying and more pressing. Never a fan of those eyes that shoot the little eyeball gunk or whatever. It's blood, isn't it? Not sure. Ooh. Nice little predictive shot by him or something like that. I think this is a pretty easy fairy chest. I'm a little afraid. At least we stop it early. Still gotta get my jumps down a little bit. We're a barbarian, so this run should be a long run to start with. There's no reason why we should die early. Barbarian with a little bit of vampirism. Still don't do great damage, but it's not terrible. Having a double jump gives me so much more control than I otherwise have. It's just really hard to get out of the way of a lot of attacks when you don't have one. I don't know where I want to go from here. Maybe this way. I'd like to go back to the forest at some point. Oh, that was unfortunate. Not much I could have really done about falling on a guy's head. If you have like flight or more jumps, I guess you can do more controlled descent. Glad that quickly dead ended, means we don't have to screw around there. We don't have a dash, which I still want. You guys can probably see why I said that I really was looking forward to getting to where I could one-shot those painting guys, the Doom Trits, because they are a huge pain. This is a really easy room. Huh? Nice little gift of a chest for no real reason. Lots of easy rooms. Yeah, they're just free health and sometimes free money if you have enough damage to kill them. In fact, the whole dynamic and difficulty level of this game really changes depending on I'm thinking about this boss, especially now that I got that health up. Let's see what this gives me. Hermes boots are good. This thing can give you, I think, one negative item, the Hedgehog's Curse. Everything else is pretty much positive. Got a little bit of health to play with, so I'm tempted to... I mean, we've got money, though, so it's not like... It's not like if I die against the boss, this will be... Ooh, I didn't see him. It's not like if I die against the boss, this will be a wasted run or anything. Coins on spikes, there's not really like a... You'd think there'd be like a pixel where you could get them, but there's not really one. I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to push to until I find the forest. And then from the forest entrance, I'm going to go... From there, I'm going to take the 2 health ups that I get, the one at the forest, the one at the boss. Then I'm going to go fight Neo, or not Neo, but regular old unremixed Khidr. Or I have no idea how to pronounce the boss's name. You'll forgive me, I hope. I don't have a great spell for fighting the boss, but honestly, there's a couple spells that are really good versus him, but for the most part, if you can't beat Khidr on damage, on like melee damage, you probably can't fight him yet. I don't know, that's probably not true at all. There's a couple spells that really help. I've beaten this game a couple times, but I don't have the level of like crazy expertise that I have for Terraria or Magic the Gathering. I don't know if I've taken enough time off Magic that I don't know if my knowledge would still count as crazy expertise. There was a time when I knew every Magic card that had ever been printed, but probably had been printed from like 2007 to 2013, which is about 5. Oh, I forgot I had Flight. That's about 5,000 Magic cards. It's a lot of knowledge floating around. And then, like, from 2007 back to 93, still a good knowledge of, like, any playable cards or even, like, high draft picks. I probably have about 10 or 11,000 Magic cards floating around in my head, so, you know, decent amount of knowledge about that game. Check this room pretty much without dying. I'm getting a little bit too cocky. I shouldn't be going where I'm going. Is it just boss time? It might just be boss time. No, I still want to stick with my plan of... I've got a lot of... I'll have to remember that I've got that Flight, because that could get me out of some jams, and probably into some jams. Flight runs you into spikes like this. I don't really like the controls for the Flight in this game. Like, it makes me sad that one of the last classes you unlock is Dragon, and that the class is basically... For me, it's unplayable. Like, I can't... I can't play as the dragon. Oh, and I guess it's kind of a secret class, so, you know, sorry if you hadn't had the dragon spoiled for you, and... You know, it's not all that hidden, but it does take some noticing. So sorry if you didn't notice it on your own, and you know, actually, never mind. If you didn't notice the dragon and did not have it spoiled for you, you will never find it. So you are welcome for me telling you about the dragon. I guess. I don't know. Draw your own conclusions on Hey, is that our first random stat up? Alright, so those stat ups are the equivalent of like half a level, just kind of for free. We got MP plus 5, which is effective immediately. It's an interesting stat up because it's not like you have to wait till your next run or anything. We have almost no MP, which is a little worrying because I've been using it, but I think it's boss fight time. We have full health. We have a lot of money for being level 28. We have recovery for if we barely beat the boss to continue our run, even though if I beat the boss I won't care about continuing this run too much. Alright, got hit, but that's okay. I don't like it when he does this attack because it's the harder of the two attacks to dodge, but we did okay dodging it. We did okay dodging it again. He's 27. I could have sworn he's normally level 30. You know, I was about to be all happy that we were beating him before we were supposed to. But it looks like he de-leveled. Maybe he de-leveled because we died to him. Is that a thing? Well, that went really well. That's a ton of money on the ground right there. And yes, you can die on these spikes and lose the money. So this chest should contain 3 half-level stat-ups. Armor increased by 2, MP by 5, MP by 5. I don't really like seeing the MP ones, but what can you do? Notice that the little eyeball symbol on the door lit up. I wonder what that could mean. Not very subtle. Now I don't really know where to go from here. I mean, I could... Let's check out this room. That's Gambler. He offers a proposition with technically break-even odds, but there's no reason to do it. If you want to gamble with your money, you can, but we have a lot. I would rather just get money based on skill than by chance. But you bet a quarter of your money, and he either... You pick from 3 chests. One of the chests will triple the money that you bet, so, you know, if you bet a quarter of it, you'll suddenly have triple what you bet. Oop. That was very silly damage. Wasn't even looking at the screen. That's how you die on good runs, is you just don't look at the screen. Yeah, you bet a quarter of your money. He either pays out with triple or he doesn't pay out at all. So 2/3 of the time you lose a quarter of your money. The times where you win are great because you win. But I mean, they're still not that great because it's not like the odds were... It's not like if you play that infinitely, things will end up in your favor. If you played infinitely, things should even out. But when I did it in like casual runs, or eventually you get to a point in this game where money's like meaningless. Not meaningless, but I mean you have plenty of it. When I've gambled with him, Knight Sword, probably buy that. That's a good sword. Unless we have a silver sword right now, which maybe we do. I've been bad at these lately. They're usually not impossible for me, but difficult right now. Probably will be difficult until I get... Where do I want to go from here? I guess... You know, I should have used a teleporter, but now I'm like halfway there, so I'm just going to keep pressing onward. Okay, now from here I want to teleport somewhere interesting and probably over to the forest, because we're ready for the forest. But yes, I can't remember if I finished that anecdote or not, but if I didn't, what I was saying was that when I play that guy, the gambler guy, I usually lose money to him. This I might take at some point. It's a random teleport. It's not good. It usually puts you... It usually... So the reason not to take this teleport is there's basically three things that can happen. It'll put you somewhere that would have been smart to go to. Or, like, you know, somewhere that would be appropriately leveled. Or it will put you in an area that's really hard, and then you'll die. Or a very likely scenario, depending on how much of the castle you've cleared, is that it'll put you somewhere that you've already been, and then it's just very inexciting because you're like, oh, I'll take this wild teleport, let's see where it puts me. And then you end up, you know, back in, like, the second room of Castle Samson, wishing you hadn't done that. And as I said, I'm not reading journal entries, you know, sorry. They are fine. They're, you know, I've got nothing against them, but just doesn't feel like that kind of Let's Play, you know, it's not really story time. This game isn't... This game has a fine story, but like I say that so disparagingly. Like, this game's story is pretty good, but I just don't feel like reading journal excerpts in the middle of a run. Oops. See, this is why I don't like flying, is because you just kind of... It's a little bit weird to steer with it. I just end up getting hit. Oh, that one was my fault, though. I was just not... I gotta be careful, or I'm gonna die. I was worrying so much about those spikes that I really was not giving those arrows their proper respect. Oh, and with those teleporters, there is no... Like, in Binding of Isaac, you can get to, like, a I am arrow room, or something with a teleporter that you wouldn't be able to normally get to, and then you're like, oh, this is the only way to get there, so I'll do it for that odds. No such thing in this game, so just go to somewhere that you could easily access otherwise. Actually clearing out quite a bit of the forest. I feel good about that. I'm not worrying about breaking every little thing on the map. I know I break a lot of furniture and whatnot, but it's really just a matter of whether I see it or not. Those green guys I love when I have vampirism because they just... You know, every piece gives you health, and they just, you know, they're pretty easy. Did that guy just, like, shoot twice in a row, or did he do a little bit of a Freaky Friday with his buddy where they swapped places and I didn't notice? It's not really Freaky Friday, that's more, what's that? Is that the movie where is that the movie where a mom and a daughter switch place? Or a movie where twins... This would be an interesting thing. Has anyone done a movie where identical twins switch bodies? Would they notice that they switch bodies? Siphon Rune is either Mana Steal, like you get 2 mana when you hit. Yeah, it is. That's what it is, because the other rune that I'm thinking of is called Balance. Balance is half vampirism, half mana. Balance is fine. Siphon's not so good because I'd rather have 2 health than 2 mana. I think that's my other issue with magic in this game, is like every once in a while I start to get a little bit sold on magic in Rogue Legacy, and then what happens is I start using it more, and I run out like right away because you don't get it back that fast unless you're a mage. Which, I mean, I guess is the time to be using magic is when you're a mage. But you don't get your magic back that fast, so then, you got talked into using it. Ranger Helm is, I think, good. I'd probably buy that if I can. I have a lot of money, so 5,000 gold is approaching like a New Game Plus run. Maybe not quite, but, a bad New Game Plus run. It's always tough to decide whether to invest in gear or whether to invest in... Ooh, this is awkward. Yeah, I knew I was going to get hit at some point during that adventure. I didn't want to get hit twice, though. You don't run into these dogs too often, which is why I don't have a great knowledge of their pattern. One nice thing about being a barbarian is that, those chickens heal us for so much more than they would with another character. Here we go. I like seeing this. A little bit of money. I was hoping for maybe an item, but a little bit of money, a little bit of health. We have a boss right there, our second boss, if we wanted to make this a 2-boss attempt video. I think I'm pretty confident that I can raise my health a little bit before I fight him. I'm afraid to pray for assistance because that could be something... I don't know, it could be really good. It could be like the compass. Although I would be so sad if I lost like 6,000 gold from getting Sonic the Hedgehog curse like right now. I don't think I can afford... If it was an early run, I could risk Hedgehog curse, but I can't. Is there a reason to do this room? It's a big room where I could take a lot of damage. I'm trying to remember if I left... Did I leave health here? Yes, I did, and mana. That's good. Glad to see that. I don't think I left health anywhere else. Let's fight the second boss. Let's give it a shot. I don't remember it being a particularly hard boss. I think the third boss is pretty much the hard one. Depending on... Like, the third boss is a good one to use magic against, but... Alexander, I remember being pretty manageable. He's not super fun to fight with a barbarian because we do, like, no damage to him. And a big test of whether or not you're ready to fight Alexander is whether or not you can kill his little skull minions in one hit or not. Because there's no like capped how many of these skull minions are gonna come after you. So if you're two-shotting them, which we of course are, then I don't even know if I'm assuming, yeah, we're probably two-shotting them. I don't think we're three-shotting them. I would have noticed that. But yeah, if you're not quickly killing those minions, he's pretty hard to deal with. Because like we were doing okay, but now we're getting like a little boxed in by minions. And you can focus on them instead of focusing on the boss, and kind of like recover. But it's slow. It's working out actually. You don't want to run straight into him, if I recall. I mean, I'm not going to feel bad about this attempt because it's going not bad for an attempt at Alexander where I'm getting a little juggled there, which is, my own fault because I wasn't like stun locked or anything. I could have certainly moved. And I just didn't. Yeah, you don't want to get hit by him, because he hits for, like, way more than his buddies. I just kind of want to keep moving. He's at, like, half health, and I'm kind of resigned to death at this point. Yeah, I'm in a corner. It went okay. Once we go in there with, like, a shinobi or a paladin... Isn't that beautiful? Look at all those things we killed. Yeah, once we go in there with like a shinobi or a paladin, we will have a pretty good shot at him. So we've got 2 miners. None of them are... One of them has a eyesight thing, so we definitely won't play them. I'm going to go with... This shinobi is going to be extra susceptible to knockback, but he'd be a great choice for taking on... Be a great choice for taking on the second boss, so he's a decent option. Okay, so we do have the silver sword, which means there's no reason to buy the knight sword other than just weight reasons. It'd just be a downgrade. Get more health out of the ranger helm, but we'd have to buy an equip up. We get a decent amount more armor from the silver chest. Also would have to buy an equip up for that, but we're going to need those eventually, so I'm not shy at all. These are all just magic. Eventually we'll get like weird limbs, and there'll be things I care about. So you've got new runes. I like the idea of a sprint rune, especially for recording purposes, because dashing is nice. Sure. Yeah, I'll get it. Not the most exciting use of my money, so... Here, I want to expand the tree out a little bit, so... God, upgrading the miner is so expensive. Potion up is not that good, but I think it unlocks something. It unlocks the Spell Thief, which I think is a better mage. I don't want that. Do I have to take that to get to armor up? I don't know. I could make so many bad decisions here. Haggle's actually not that expensive. And I think it unlocks a little bit of castle. Turn the Hoge into the shinobi into a Hokage. I don't care about Hokage or however you pronounce it. Lich is an okay class. I don't like it very much. Our money didn't get us as far as I hoped. I want more damage. I want more equip up, because I know it's going to matter to me later. And we're going to go to you. And I'm going to buy that armor. Can't afford that. Can I afford anything else that was over here? Probably not. Oh, I can. Mana up. That's the only thing with a plus sign. Now we have... I really don't like that they just squished the sprite for the ectomorph and endomorph. So now Sharon only takes 90% of my money. I don't know why that's supposed to be like... I think the game thinks that that's really good based on how much it costs to upgrade, but yeah, I mean, starting this floor with 2 gold instead of 0. I mean, it can get... It never really gets that good. I don't think it ever... Like, I'm pretty sure I've got it fully upgraded on my main character, and it's still not that high. Shinobi's fast. This is actually a little difficult to control. But yeah, I've got a dash now, which you can spam. Like, you don't You don't need a bunch of dashes. I think you can stack multiple dashes, but honestly, I don't even remember what that does, because look at how quickly I can dash after dashing. I want to be a little careful fooling around with it, because I don't want to die dashing around. So you can tell if these are going to fight you or not based on whether they have a black border around them. This one doesn't, so attacking it won't cause any bad things to happen. Now, we did just have a really long run, and we kind of owe it to being a barbarian. So maybe I need to talk less smack about the barbarian class. But, you know, I really like shinobis. I love that we're fighting level 8 guys and just one-shotting everything, taking very little damage. We have a lot less health. Yeah, this is one of the things I don't like about Rogue Legacy. This boss is just gone to me. Until I go to New Game Plus, he is not a thing. There is a remixed version of him I can fight if I want to do so, but who cares? Oop, left some gold. I mean, I can't go get it, but look, I two-shot a level 52 Dark Stallion that I'm not even supposed to be close to fighting yet. Almost one-shot those guys, who are also level 52. Like, wow, that guy's really hard to get a jump on. Man, I kind of threw that run away going into... Got really full of myself and went into an area I wasn't supposed to be in. Here's a paladin with a visual trait that I don't hate too much, so we'll take it. Have a little bit of money. Throw it all into damage. So this, you remember this from the opener? I think this used to be like black and white, but they decided to change it because that was just too difficult. It was hard, and it also didn't make sense. So this is an improvement over the old version of Nostalgic. I think it's one of the things they did right in either a patch or DLC. But I'm going to end the video here because, one, this gives you guys a chance to decide if you want to watch the Nostalgic run or not. If this bothers your eyes, or I don't think it would, but you know. But also because it's been about a half hour, I think it's a good time to stop. And we'll be back next time trying to get into the forest, trying to not do silly things, and, you know, make some more progress in this game. Alright, see ya!